Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakodash. Double honors as always to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. And I wanted to do a quick video dealing with this back and forth, all right, between, particular Israelites over, the 12 tribes, whether, they're supposed to be all black, dark skin, chocolate, all right, and the rebellion against the understanding that, the natives, the ones who were over here in the Americas, North, Central, South America, so-called Dominicans, so-called Puerto Ricans, all right, and so forth, the Panamanians to Guatemala, the so-called Mexican, being the northern kingdom who left the Assyrian Empire, all right, and pretty much came over to the Americas as it is prophesied in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, all right, and as Yahweh Shai, said, he had other sheep which were not of the fold, all right, of the Jews, all right, who would be gathered as well, all right, and it makes sense that there would be a back and forth and a rejection from Judah of the northern tribes because it's biblical, all right, but one of the big mistakes that, these Israelites make who deny those being Israelites, all right, is that they say the northern tribe would be in Africa primarily, all right, when you go into prophecy, it clearly lets you know that Judah and Ephraim would awaken together, all right, a remnant in the latter days, all right. You also have particular people saying, well, the northern tribes are large in number, all right. It's too many of them for them to be Israelites, all right. Now, the scriptures tell us that Israel would be as the sand of the sea, all right, that no man could measure nor number, all right, but a remnant will be saved, all right. And again, that remnant is not going to be determined by skin color. It will be determined by those who have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But we want to deal with this false narrative that the northern tribes will be primarily, all right, in Africa only, all right, because, there's just a few scriptures to cut that. And we're going to get a few scriptures also to show you that, this back and forth between Judah and Ephraim, it's biblical, all right? But when you get the book of Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, in the 18th verse, just to get straight to the point, all right, because what does Jeremiah 50 and 33 say? Let's get that first. All right, Jeremiah 50 and 33, we always bring this out. All right, it says, Jeremiah 50 and 33, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah, all right? And when you go into the scriptures, the kingdoms were split, all right, after King Solomon's fall, all right? At one point, we were just the nation of Israel, but after King Solomon's fall, all right, you had the 10 tribes, or the northern kingdom, and you had, all right, the southern kingdom, all right? So ultimately, all right, the southern kingdom stayed in the Babylonian captivity, but the northern kingdom left the Assyrian captivity because they went into captivity first, all right, and came pursuant to the book of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, to a land, all right, where never mankind dwelt. And when you go into that word dwelt, it doesn't mean nobody was literally there, but nobody had set up a kingdom and governed, okay, because we know King Solomon sent, his navy, his ships over here to gather riches, because we know that the Americas, all right, and the whole earth was at one point paradise. So when you go to the Americas, there's a lot of, resources and everything over there. So the northern kingdom left the Assyrian Empire, and what people say is that they went to Africa. No, they came over to the Americas. This is why, all right, there's many artifacts, all right, proving that the natives that were over here, all right, and are still here, all right, and were decimated and destroyed via judgment, okay, those were Israelites. They were speaking dialects of Hebrew, even in the writings of these Edomites who encountered them. All right, and I know we always say this, but Christopher Columbus had a Hebrew interpreter when he came over here for a reason. And there's various books, artifacts, and documents proving that the people over here were practicing the customs of the Hebrews. They were Israelites, all right? And a lot of people say, well, the natives, got into things like, human sacrifice. Well, what the hell you think the kings of Judah did? When you go through the history of the kings of Judah, all right, there were 19 or 20 that sat on the throne, and only 7 of them did right. One of them was a woman by the name of Athaliah. And when you get into what they were into, King Ahab, many of the kings, they got into the human sacrifice, child sacrifice, all kinds of evils, blood drinking. They got into all manner of evil. Even the kings of Judah got into those wicked rituals. So it wasn't just the northern kingdom. Anyway, this is Jeremiah 50:33. It says, thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. All right. All that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go. All right. And pursuing to Jeremiah 33, okay, the Lord is going to deliver, or Jeremiah 30, where we get the Jacob's trouble. All right. Jeremiah 30:3. For the time is coming when I will restore the fortunes of my people Israel and Judah, and will bring them home to this land that I gave their ancestors. So the Lord is going to deliver Judah and Israel out of captivity. Now, the main deliverance, as we know, Jeremiah 16, okay, I guess this is a heavy Jeremiah lesson, but when you go to Jeremiah 16, all right, and you start at 14, it says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will no more, it will no more be said that Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel, all right, which is going to be fulfilled because the Lord intends on making us one nation again. We're only split because of ultimately, a failure, all right? The Lord intended us to just be the nation of Israel, but because of, rebellion, and because of, falls, the curses, we were split as a nation. All right. And another thing you have to understand is that Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all right, who stuck to the traditions, all right, looked down on the northern kingdom. All right. Basically, they would look at you as if you weren't even an Israelite, because they feel like you left the fold. All right. And you left the Assyrian captivity, and you didn't stick with us. You left. And throughout history, there's always been back and forth and wars and all kind of differences between the tribes. That's why amongst the elect, all right, all of those breaches and differences will be closed and healed up and fixed. Okay, so when you get Jeremiah 16, it's talking about a day where we're no longer going to talk about the deliverance of the children of Israel from the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. All right. And from all the lands, whether they be delivered, all right, and driven. So the land of the north, all right, we know that we're in the northwestern hemisphere. The land of the north is speaking to America. That's where the new Egypt is. That's where the main deliverance is. All right. And pursuant to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, Judah and Israel will wake up there together. Not just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, not just the kingdom of Judah, not just the southern kingdom will be in Babylon the Great. So the notion that, all right, just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi are over in the Americas, and the southern kingdom or the northern kingdom in Africa is false. Because when you get, okay, let's go back to where I was at earlier. All right, let's get Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. When you get it, Jeremiah 3:18, in those days shall the house of Judah walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north. All right, now we know our people are scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth, but the major deliverance is going to be in the land of the north, which is America, Babylon the Great, the new Egypt. All right, where the dead bodies of the Israelites laid. All right, but then a spiritual awakening happened. Okay, so the northern and southern kingdom, or Judah and Israel, are going to come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given you for an inheritance to your fathers. You see? So that's going to happen. All right. The main deliverance is going to happen between Judah and Israel coming out of the land of the north. Okay. And again, when you get Ezekiel the 37th chapter, all right, the very chapter that describes that we would have the 12 tribes chart, all right, which has to, ultimately be believed through faith. All right, there's videos on it, but if you just looking at it solely on skin color, then you're missing the mark. All right, because there's a lot of dark skinned Edomites, there's a lot of dark skinned Moabites, there's a lot of dark skinned, all nations at one point were dark. All right, but the Lord did it like this to challenge us, because we've been separated as the two nations for so long that it is foreign, all right, to see, the northern kingdom in the condition that they're in, and them see us in the condition that we're in, and us be taught all of these things by our enemy. We would be at odds with one another. And then going back to the history, all right, even I'm gonna get ready to show you a point in history where the northern tribes knew that one day, all right, they would, certain of the northern tribes knew one day that they would be excluded, all right, from inheritance and serving the Lord. They knew it. All right, we'll show you that history as well. But here in Ezekiel 37, all right, which is Babylon the Great, is the valley of dry bones, where Judah and Ephraim will be together. All right, and as Ezekiel prophesied, which is symbolic of the prophets, all right, basically it lets you know, all right, that there will be a reunion of Judah and Israel right here in verse 15. You see that? All right, he's telling him to take one stick for Judah and one stick for Israel. All right, those are the two kingdoms, northern or southern and northern kingdom, and join them together on one stick, and they will become one in my hand. All right, it says, and when they, the children of thy people, shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou show us what this mean? Then said to them, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and then I will take them and even with the stick of Judah and make them one stick, and they shall be one stick on thy hand, showing you that all of the tribes would be over in Babylon the Great, asking, what are y'all talking about, as we're out on the highways and the byways preaching. It says, then hold out the pieces of wood you have inscribed all 12 tribes on, so the people can see them. So the people would see the 12 tribes chart. That's biblical. All right. Now, a lot of you try to make up your own. A lot of you try to say we don't need it at all. But this is right here in prophecy. It said that this would happen. We're reading that there would be a 12 tribes chart inscribed. What does inscribed mean? Written. All right. And when you go to the different camps, you see the 12 tribes chart. That's not by the will of man. Man was used, okay, as man is used to even publish everything, all right, that we have in the form of the scriptures. The scriptures say great is the word, all right, but great, the Lord gave the word, all right, but great, okay, is who published it, all right. The book of Psalms 68 and 11, the Lord gave the word, great was the company of those that published it, okay. So again, the Lord had the 12 tribes chart in prophecy. All right. And what are we to tell them? All right. And give them this message, says the Lord. Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and gather them on every side and bring them into their land and make them one nation, because we were split due to the curses, due to Solomon's fall, which is history we go into and we will go into to show you the history that you have to understand. A lot of these Israelites don't know what's being talked about. They just see black people and they want to make it another black movement, all right, which is going to be to their detriment. All right, but all 12 tribes would be over here in the Americas, the land of the north. Now, all 12 tribes are scattered. Let's get Isaiah the 11th chapter. All right, Isaiah the 11th chapter, and I'll just jump to the point. All right, the restored remnant. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover his people, which shall be left from Assyria, Egypt, Pathros, Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea, showing you that there's Israelites scattered everywhere. All right. But to say all right, it's just Judah in the Americas, which is the land of the north, is a damn lie. Okay, yes, we're scattered, but the main deliverance is going to be from Babylon the Great, the new Egypt, which all 12 tribes are here, waking up, preaching, prophesying, and it's happening before your eyes. You just have a problem with how the Lord is doing it, because it challenges, all right, your carnal mind and what you want. It challenges your belly. And he shall set an ensign for the nations via Yahweh Shai, the word, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Okay? And let's read this in the NLT. Then at last the jealousy between Israel and Judah will end. They will not be rivals anymore. So you see that rivalry playing out right before your eyes in the form of these arguments about the chart. In the form of the arguments, Dominicans are heathen, dog. You know, people coming to the pages, all right, these ain't our people. All right, it's supposed to be that way. All right, but amongst the elect, all right, the Lord lets us know. I'll probably do another video showing you that account. But the Lord lets us know in the book of Amos, okay, Amos 9 and 11, all right, in that day, I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. All of the differences will be closed up between the elect. Everybody else is going to be what they own. But amongst the elect, there's a reunion happening. And either you accept it or you don't. All right? And I will raise up his ruins and build it as in the days of old. All right? Because there was a point where all 12 tribes acknowledged King David as king. All right? All 12 tribes. Okay? They said, ye are my flesh and my bone. Right? All right? 2 Samuel 5 and 1. Then came all the tribes to Israel, of Israel to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh, meaning we are in agreement. And this is when David was crowned king in Hebron, all 12 tribes. At one point, it was just one tribe, Judah, all right, but then eventually all 12 tribes were gathered unto David and acknowledged him as king, all right, and King Solomon forwarded his throne for 40 years. After that 40 years, all right, we read about the kingdom being rent, in a sense that the northern kingdom, all right, eventually went into the Assyrian Empire, all right, and split and went their way, and the southern kingdom went their way, okay? So there was differences, there was a split, okay? But here, Amos 9 and 11 tells us that the tabernacle of David is going to be rebuilt, closed up, all right? The breaches, the differences are going to be closed up. And he's going to build it as in the days of old, as it says in the book of Isaiah, the 58th chapter. Isaiah 58 and maybe 14. Let's see here. Right, Isaiah 58 and 12. All right. Let's see. And they that shall be of thee are offspring, the offspring of Israel, shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repair of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. All right, repair of the breach. All right, repair. That's what's happening. All right, gadar is the word. All right, to wall up, to close off, to build up, and we're building a spiritual temple. All right, by belief. All right, the souls of the believers. So, again, all right, as the tribes are being gathered, it's letting you know that the envy of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, all right, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So we see now Ephraim envies Judah, all right, in the sense that the northern kingdom, they a lot of people say, well, they hate us. The Dominicans hate us. The Mexicans hate us. Well, that's prophecy, right? But who hates niggas more than other niggas? And when by niggas, I mean the tribe, especially Judah. When you deal with the hatred of Judah, who hates Judah more than other Judites? So are they not Israelites? Okay? Again, Esau's pseudoscience in the form of what determines a nation has messed you up. Okay? You don't understand. And then the rebellion against the doctrine that the man carries the seed. So you all are just confused. All right. And you really have no idea what's happening right before your eyes. But that's the beauty of the truth. As the scriptures say, the spirit of truth would not be received by everybody. Okay. Even in the world of Israel. Let's get the book of John. Okay. John 14. All right. And 16. And I will pray the Father, and he will give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Even the spirit of truth, whom the world, all right, when you go into that word world, all right, it's cosmos. I guarantee you it's cosmos. All right. Whom the world, cosmos, which is the world of Israel, an arrangement. Okay. The Israelites are a world within themselves, but the whole world in itself can't accept this truth. But even in Israel, all right, even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall abide in you. So we're able to, through the spirit, put the flesh behind and look at things in a spiritual sense, and see that Israel is being gathered. All right, we take our own emotions out of the way, and we fully submit to the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But the whole world of Israel ain't going to receive that truth. That comfort is only to the elect. So a lot of you have woke up to the fact you're Israelites, all right, only to fulfill the prophecy of being destroyed and being the 2/3. Okay? But as you can see here, the envy of Ephraim shall depart, Isaiah 11 and 13, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, okay? And Judah shall not vex Ephraim, all right? And Judah is vexing Ephraim right now by telling them that they're not Israelites. And by Ephraim, the kingdom of Ephraim, which is the head tribe of the northern kingdom, all right, which can be synonymous with Joseph. So Judah, all right, shall not vex Ephraim, all right? And that word vex, which we see happening right now amongst the elect, that's not happening. Tazarar, all right? Tazarar. To bind, to be narrow, to be in distress, to be straightened, to bind. And that's what you're doing to the Israelites, to show hostility towards. So Judah, all right, dark chocolate Judites, because I guess there ain't no Judites who look any different than a dark chocolate black person, right? Is showing hostility, all right, and treating Ephraim with enmity. Meanwhile, Ephraim is looking at Judah like, I hate them niggas. They think they this, they think they that. All right, but see, amongst the elect, all of those differences are being set aside. All right. And we're accepting the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, but yes, you have Israelites in Egypt, all right, amongst the Cushites, amongst the Elamites and Shinar and all of these various different places. All right, but as we showed you, the great deliverance is going to be in the land of the north. As we read in Jeremiah, the 16th chapter, all right, Jeremiah 16, all right, Jeremiah 16th chapter, all right, but the Lord liveth, all right, this is going to be the new Passover that we celebrate in the kingdom, the deliverance from what? The Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither ye have driven them, and I will bring them again to their land. All right, and when we get to that land, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, okay, we're going to be what? One nation. Okay, one nation. We're going to just be the nation of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel will be known as one nation. We will no more be divided, all right, by, you know, the northern kingdom, southern kingdom. We will just be the kingdom of Israel. Okay, and David will take his position, all right, because Yahweh Shai is establishing the throne of David. So David himself will be king. All right. Yahweh Shai is going to establish a nation and kingdom of priests. The first king under Yahweh Shai will be David. All right. And a lot of people like to say, well, it says David. There's no talking point of Yahweh Shai. Well, when you read prophecy, 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter tells you the one from the loins of David will be the one who establishes all of this. But see, a lot of you really don't know the Bible. There's a lot of people just talking, okay? And they shall dwell in the land, that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, they and their children and their children's children forever. Okay? So this is going to be all 12 tribes returning back to that land. Now, the point I did have is here in Joshua, the 22nd chapter, but, I don't have enough time. So I'm going to do another video, Lord willing, and it's going to show you, all right, there's particular tribes, all right, Reuben, all right, Gad, all right, Manasseh, all right, that pretty much, as I break the story down, but they knew that one day, all right, let's see here. Joshua 22:24, the truth is we have built this altar because we fear that in the future your descendants will say unto ours, what right do you have to worship with the Lord God of Israel? You see, and that, and that's what, we see happening now. When you look at comments like this, we see that the Dominicans are Gentiles, fam. 12 tribes charters, bullshit, Northern Kingdom in Africa. We see that happening now, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, hopefully y'all edified. We'll be back with more. Shalom.